Man, I hope I have enough coffee for this. So, there has been quite an upset in the rightoid political conversation sphere. Um, enlightened, disaffected liberal centrist Tim Pool has had some beef with people like The Quartering and many commentators that are a little bit lower than The Quartering. And in fact, he's kind of isolated himself from a lot of these people and handled this controversy quite badly. Now, what's interesting about it is it doesn't even really have anything to do with him. There is a woman by the name of Eliza Blue who was on Tim's show, and then a few other commentators, one that smells like cat pee and isn't worth mentioning, and then The Quartering posted like some screenshots of her from a music video, and for some reason, like those tweets got locked. She's friends with Elon, like there's all this kind of stuff going on in the background, and like nobody really knows what all is going on because it's all stuff that's happening in the back. But because these people are so fragile, they ended up going to war. For some reason, people started blaming Tim for Eliza Blue and that he's defending Eliza Blue or whatever. Basically, it's a giant mess of a bunch of whiny babies with pee-pee and poo-poo in their diapers, complaining and making no sense. Now, this is a video that Tim Pool put out on his main channel, or his original OG channel, Tim Pool, addressing The Quartering, Sam Cedar, the Young Turks, AOC, and online grifter drama. Let's go.
Currently, members of Congress are questioning Twitter 1.0 executives, as some have referred to it. But I don't think it's accurate because I think Jack Dorsey was like the OG guy. And then with Vijay Gadde and Yoel Roth and others, it's more like a 2.0 than Elon Musk perhaps is a 3.0. But I saw this video of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez posted by the Bongino Report. And I watched her go on a rant where she just like lies. And it reminded
She goes on a rant where she just lies. Okay, all right, sure.
me of the other rant she just did recently when she was defending Ilhan Omar. And I really thought to myself, you know, there's an issue that I think is bringing things to light in my mind, and something I've been talking about for the past few months and past year really, with the intensity of the attention around me. And I figured, you know, I've not really done a personal deep dive into a lot of this stuff. You know, there's no real way to address issues of tribalism, drama, the culture war, etc.
So one of the reasons why I'm really interested in watching this, how stinky is that beanie? Oh, it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. The inside of that beanie is just like one big cake of skin flakes. Anyway, what I think is fascinating about this, when Tim is just reading an article or when Tim is on his like podcast, he can always just default to the most basic, rudimentary arguments that are kind of, you know, ubiquitous with the right political sphere. You know, like he doesn't even have to think; he just has to open his mouth and let out, you know, what you could even just make a flowchart of how to respond to literally anything. This, he's gonna actually have to utilize like his own brain and his own terrible personality. Keep in mind, I have hung out with Tim Pool 6 times in real life. No, wait, 5 times. And the man has no personality. He is a sheet of cardboard.
When, you know, you're trying to talk about the news and not overtly just talk about yourself. But there's no real way to do it. You know, no matter what you do, people are going to come after you and attack you. But this is what I want to do with today's segment. We're going to have a big show tonight at 8 p.m. We're going to be sitting down with members of Congress discussing a lot of what happened here with Twitter and the State of the Union and what's happening in this country, things that I think are really important. And it is an honor and a privilege to be able to sit down with some of these people and many of the people that I have sat down with for some time. But of course, there are a bunch of people who are angry with me. And so I think there's a lot to be said about this video from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and the other video she did, which exemplify a great deal of the cultural and social decay that I think is impact.
Cultural and social decay. Okay. This is right away. I mean, that's like, it's perfect right leaning and not just like mainstream, but actually getting into a little bit of the far right coded framing of each issue that he's going to be talking about. So that's interesting. Decay, degeneracy.
acting our society, and why I've never wanted to be a part of it, why I don't care to be a part of it. And, well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. And we'll start with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and then I'll talk to you about Jack Murphy, Eliza Blue, Jeremy Hambley. Many of you may not even know who those people are, which is the big issue.
Got to throw that one in there a little bit. Some people might not even know who you are. Jeremy.
It's typically why I don't care to talk about them, because they're not relevant to an audience that's concerned about whether or not our elections are being subverted. Of course, there are many people who want to believe that they were wronged, even if they don't have the evidence. And this could be literally anybody of any political faction. And they demand you support their ideas no matter what. It's an untenable situation, whatever your political positioning may be. But, you know, I think a lot of people are, the reason, I'll put it this way, the reason why I want to talk about the culture war, drama, and issues pertaining to it, and maybe get a little bit esoteric and talk about the personal drama, is because I rarely do. And I think
No, the reason why. Okay, this is pretty great. So I know grifter beef. Yeah, grifter fight. The reason why he's responding to it now is because, granted, he is much bigger than the quartering, and he has a lot more political and social power. That isn't to say the quartering can't do substantial damage to Tim's business model. 100%. This is about saving face and maintaining the cash flow. That's what this is all about. But, you know, whatever.
I think it's part of the bigger picture. When I had Steven Crowder on the show and Candace Owens talking about the Daily Wire, and we were talking about this contract thing, some people said, I don't know who this is. Why does this matter? Well, it's setting the news cycle, right? We talk about these things. At least I want to talk to Steven Crowder because, for one, he's particularly famous. He's a prominent personality. We have a conflict between these two organizations. Some don't like Crowder. Some like the Daily Wire.
Oh, yeah. It's the whole right is the online right is all melting down. It's pretty incredible. And then, like, just recently we had the drama with the Speaker of the House where the MAGA people were holding it hostage. And, I mean, just the entire right side of politics is in shambles lately. And they're still massively powerful.
And this may have precipitated the drama, which involves me, but it determines the future of what the culture war will be. And in front of us, we have, I should say, some possibilities. Now, for me,
it's interesting that he says it that way because it's kind of telling on himself that the culture war is entirely manufactured by the right, and it's all grievance politics. You know, it's fascinating, but okay, yeah.
I've got people mad at me right now, and admittedly, it's a small portion of, you know, people who follow me. The drama will try and act like it's this big outrage or whatever targeted at Timcast, but you know, we're growing. Not a whole lot is changing, but there are a lot of people who are posting videos about me, namely on the right, anti-woke or anti-establishment. And I think now's the perfect time to talk about what
they're calling you a sellout, Timmy. They're calling you a sellout. Because he's a sellout. I mean, he sold out long time ago. But the thing is, too, most of them have, like any of them that have decent numbers of subscribers, they already sold out as well. So it's grifter fight. It is grifter fight. This is what it is. Like, all these people do not believe 90% of the shit that they say. And it's all to cater to an audience that they are increasingly radicalizing and making more fervently angry and dehumanizing people because it makes them money.
What the future of this kind of anti-woke, anti-establishment movement might actually be. I don't care to be a leader in any such movement. I don't care to be famous, and I don't care to be a leader in any...
Lies, and lies, and lies. Lies. Everybody who has ever had anything to do with Tim in a business capacity that isn't one of his employees currently, there's plenty of his former employees, they all say the same thing. Tim is obsessed. Obsessed. His singular goal is money and influence. And through that is also fame as well. He really likes the fame.
Any such right, which is why I'm not in office, which is why I am just some dude who complains on the internet and will basically tell anybody who comes at me to screw off, and I just don't really care. There's a lot to talk about in this regard, and so I'll address it. Before we do, head over to timcast.com to become a member if you want to support our work directly. Maybe you do like me. Maybe you do like the positions I have, and you agree with my vision of the future. And if you do, click that Join Us button, and support our work. As a member, you'll get access to the Castle vlog. It is corrupt, disgusting, and may not be aware of, but are commentators in their own space of varying follower sizes and of varying political factions. And I want to talk to you about how I view this system and why I think it is corrupt, disgusting, and quite honestly, I want no part of it. I want literally no part of it.
Interesting.
Well, let's do this. Smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, share the show with your friends. Let me show you this clip from Rumble of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who I believe is one of the griftiest of the grifters and who needs to be called out. Let me...
Wait. So Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, whose entire campaign was funded by grassroots and routinely rejects, routinely rejects lobbyists, is the griftiest of grifters. The word grift coming out of Tim Pool's mouth means absolutely nothing. It means absolutely fucking nothing. Like, you can like AOC or you can hate AOC. That's fine. Calling her a grifter is ridiculous. There are plenty of other things that you could label her that would probably fit what you're talking about more if you don't like her.
Play this clip for you.
For bias against right wing on Twitter.
Is it?
So much for bias against right wing on Twitter. Additionally, Ms. Navaroli, are you familiar with the account Libs of TikTok?
I have heard of it from the news, yes.
Mr. Roth, are you familiar with this account?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Are you aware that from August 11th to August 16th, that account posted false information about Boston Children's Hospital, claiming that they were providing hysterectomies to children?
Okay, we'll pause there. And this is important. Do you hear the righteous indignation in her voice?
Yeah, that's a fucked up thing for that account to do. It was still fucked up. It was a lie. Why wouldn't you be pissed off about somebody reporting false news, Tim?
Boston Children's Hospital lies. Okay. Well, she's doing this. It's performative. I don't know. I think
She's telling the truth,
is this
though.
the video? Okay, no, this is the Boston Children's Hospital one. Here we go. Fox News, February 2nd. Ocasio-Cortez explodes over vote to boot Omar, slaps notebook against podium, targeting women of color. It's fake. It's all fake. For everybody. All of these people, it's all fake. They don't care. And I don't care for them.
You're not saying that she's wrong. You're just, saying this is dumb and bad. This. You're not saying anything. You've said literally nothing about it. Okay, whatever.
I saw this clip of AOC. She's lying, and she's putting on performative outrage.
She's not lying. She's not lying. That was a lie Libs of TikTok posted.
There's no real... let me show you this. Gerald Beer says, this 2021 document is on Boston Children's Hospital's website. The Center for Gender Surgery provides gender affirmation surgery services to eligible adolescents. Adolescents, of course, could be someone ages, 5 to 17. I think 4 actually is the cutoff, because toddlers before that. Toddlers when you can't walk. To be eligible, you must meet certain criteria. The criteria are not listed, but hysterectomies are. And of course, the Boston Children's Hospital does list the hysterectomies that they provide.
It's so fascinating that he's quickly clicking through that and not looking at actually what the evidence is. The thing is, whether Tim actually knows that it's a lie or not, because it is a lie, and that hospital has never performed a hysterectomy for gender-affirming care at all to anybody who is underage. They don't do that. They don't do that. The only time a hysterectomy might be performed on somebody who is not technically an adult is if it's a medical emergency and it has to be done, But he's not going to report on it. He's instead going to brush through it, because if he ever gets called out on something, and he does this all the time, then he's like, well, I just didn't see that, so I didn't know. Doop, 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 doop. Airhead shit, And
then we also have this video where a young woman explains what a hysterectomy is. Now, you can argue from AOC's perspective, she's saying they weren't...
And it's again, it's never happened. It has yet to happen. All of this is easy to look up. Yeah, children get cancer too, exactly.
Giving it to children. Well, hold on there a minute. As we already seen from these documents, they do provide them to adolescents. I mean, that's true. But AOC is giving you performative outrage.
Yes, I am aware of that and other claims from the account.
And are you aware that this lie was then circulated by other prominent far-right influencers?
Okay, well, I've already proven to you it's true. But this is it.
No, you haven't. You haven't, Timmy. You haven't. You're just making up reality. It's fascinating.
This is an example of what I'm talking about in the culture war. This is an example.
This is what I'm talking about with the culture war. The thing is, when you have somebody with immense influence, people like Tucker Carlson, people like Tim Pool, the fact is, reality doesn't have to be reality. They don't have to report factual information because their reach is so strong. They have so much political and social power, they can just say shit. They can just say shit and people will believe them automatically. So it doesn't even matter if it's true. It just doesn't. And it's what happens when you give somebody an immense amount of power and they are, in fact, an unscrupulous person. Like, it's crazy.
Example of what I despise. And what I think, we'd be better off without.
That's a good point, too. Yeah, adolescent can be 18, 19, 100%. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. That does not, I swear to God.
I don't know if it's beyond human nature to resist things like this. And I'm sure many people have argued that I've done similar things, and fair point. Quite literally, fair point. I've been saying it since I've started doing this back in 2016 or whatever. I see these things that make me angry. AOC, lying about stuff. Maybe she's just wrong. I don't trust her.
It's easy. It takes no time. Boston Children's Hospital is home to the country's first pediatric and adolescent transgender health program. Spreading information regarding it. They're saying that it's this, and all, of course, posted by Andy Knows Post Millennial, another liar website. The hospital's website, what he has a screenshot of, but is not showing the website itself. The hospital's website states that gender affirmation surgeries are only offered for those 18 years and older, not young children. This is reality. This is facts. What Tim is providing is lies, and I know he knows better. But he's not going to do that, and if you manage to corner him where he has to respond, he'll just say, well, I didn't see it, I was given bad information, because he's a grifter.
Performative outrage over Ilhan Omar I thought was absurd. And maybe I've done similar things in the past. By all means, I should be criticized for those. I'll call them out now, and as I try moving forward to do better, I seek to avoid these kind of controversies. I try really hard. Maybe it's not about being black or white. Maybe it's not that you've never done these things. Maybe it's you try to avoid doing these things. I try to give Joe Biden credit if he does something I think is good. I gave him praise when he said things I liked during a State of the Union address. For Donald Trump, I try to criticize him when I can, and I have more criticisms than I do of praise. But I do think he's a better president and was a better president than anyone I'd seen in my lifetime.
Wow. I mean, look. I've been alive since 1982, and I don't think any of our presidents have ever been good. Not really. Like, some of them are obviously better than others, but there are always, like, egregious things about presidents. Like, in general, do I think Obama did a pretty decent job? Sure. He also did a lot of bad shit. So, do I like Obama? No. It's the same with anything. But, like, I'm sorry. It's fucking crazy. It's absolutely fucking crazy. Trump was probably better than any of the other ones in my lifetime. What did you like so much about him? That he's a treasonous, a traitor? Like, is that, I don't know. It's weird. Because that should be the first thing you ever think about when you think about Trump. He's a traitor.
AOC continues.
Yes.
And are you aware that all these claims, which I have reiterated were false, culminated in a real-life harassment and ultimately a bomb threat to the Boston Children's Hospital?
You see how she's doing this? Like, I don't know, man. I just feel like she's got her facts completely wrong. She's not actually bothered to look at any sources.
Yeah, except that there was a bomb threat. There was actually several bomb threats, and then that same account went and did it to two other hospitals. Like, what do you mean she's got things wrong? She hasn't said anything wrong yet. This is amazing.
And her faux righteous indignation is quite literally what the culture war is. Perhaps it's always been this way. And it's only now that
projection. Nobody gets to talk about faux outrage once they have a track record like you, Timmy.
we are getting older and I'm in my 30s, going to be 37 in about a month, that I'm starting to realize this is the thing. Perhaps it's always been this way. I remember 10, 20 years ago seeing members of Congress walk up and shake hands and smile and hug, hearing stories about how they go on the House floor and scream and say, "You were doing this," and then say, "Okay, are we done? Cameras are off. All right, let's go get steak dinner." It's fake. It's all fake.
Sure. Yeah. I know. What do you think politics is? What's the difference between a politician and an actor? You hope that at least a politician is working towards something that's going to be representative of the people that elected them. But ultimately, yeah, politics is performative. Like, so is law. It's so crazy. It's so crazy.
And so what's the point of being involved in this? I often think about Dylan Ratigan. He was a host for MSNBC, had this epic rant about all of this stuff, and then one day was just like, I quit, and went and started doing hydroponics. I can't blame him. The Bongino report...
I would love if you would quit and go do hydroponics, Tim. That would be great. That would the country and even the world would be a better place if Tim decided to retire. It honestly would. Collectively would do more to improve the planet than him just simply continuing to do what he does. The alerts aren't on right now because I'm recording, but yesterday Tim said the ousting of James O'Keefe was a left-wing infiltration takedown because one of the employees who signed the letter alleged misconduct listed pronouns in his Twitter bio. This is the kind of quality reporting we're getting. Thank you very much, Psychstorm. Appreciate that. That's funny.
Posted the clip and then said, correction. The video posted here is titled AOC loses her mind over libs of TikTok. We've since confirmed there's no evidence she had a mind in the first place. We regret the error. And I think about that and I'm like, yeah, I just don't know if I care about this stuff enough anymore, to be completely honest.
Then don't comment on it. Just shut up.
And I don't think I'm cut out to be whatever it is that people expect or want in this space. That is to say, in order to rise to prominence in this space, you absolutely must pander to a tribal force.
You do.
You must be like AOC. Express righteous indignation at the turn of on a dime the moment your audience demands it.
Wait. That's you. That's literally you. That's what you do. That's what you do. Like, okay, hang on. Hang on. Let's take a look at this, okay? This is fascinating, Like if we go to your channels, not necessarily your podcast. Let's go to your channels. We got Tim Pool and Tim Cast. On Tim Pool, we go down like Democrats are livid over getting nuked from key committees, cry foul. Doomsday clock moved to apocalyptic 90 seconds as Ukraine pushes World War III. Like, come on, dude. And then over on this one, on Timcast, some of this is just insane. Actress complains she's too hot to get roles in comedy films. Life can be hard for sexy celebrities. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? White Antifa dude roasted after confronting black conservative at TPUSA event. That actually happened here in Eugene. I was going to go to that, but yeah, I missed it. I mean, come on, man. Like, you cannot be making these claims like this, like, because it's just, on its face, it's going to fall apart, It just doesn't work. This is so fucking dumb and cringe.
Because you have different elements of your audience for any one of these organizations. You have your diehards. They'll support you no matter what you do. You have your more fickle fans. They know you and they overlap with other audiences, but you better do as they say or else. And you have normies who might watch. For most of you who are listening to this podcast or are watching and are not familiar with some of the names I've mentioned, you probably fall into the category of like a passive fan. And I mean that with no disrespect. Somebody who likes listening to the things I have to say, watches the show, but you don't know a whole lot about the deeper workings. You appreciate that we talk about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, war, conflict, what's happening in this country, and you want to learn more about the world. That's the overwhelming majority of the people who...
And how hard it is for sexy actresses to get roles in comedy films. You know, hard-hitting content, you know, it's crazy.
Follow me. Then there is a faction of diehard fans, people who watch every single video, who support us directly at timcast.com and things like that. And they're going to defend us because they really believe in us. And for that, I respect you. And I appreciate it. And then you have the more fickle overlap fans who watch because there's some kind of alignment that would benefit them or their worldview, but they will turn on you unless you do as they say. I mean,
listen, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. It's what it is you have passive, when it comes to like Tim Pool's audience, you do have those passive people who are just consuming this content like they would consume like AM radio or Fox News or whatever, and they're not really as engaged. But the people that like are really the driving force behind all of this outrage politics and the culture war, which again, the culture war is manufactured by the right. 100%. It is. These are usually people who are terminally online. And this is like one of their entire identities is to be like online activist, aggressive, very much engaged. And yeah, if you challenge them because they've got nothing better to do, they will turn on you, of course.
I mean, there's other, you can quantify fans in other ways or individuals and audiences in other ways. But these are the people right now that are particularly upset with me because they've demanded that I disavow certain individuals. And by not doing so, they've created a, viral news cycle among people about drama related to me that I quite honestly think is a net negative in terms of moving forward. It exemplifies that these people are very much the exact same thing that AOC is, that I despise and think we need to do away with, and convince me that so long as the right and the left exhibits these same phenomenons, these same features of cancel culture and lies, then there is no real path forward. Or, I don't know, maybe that's just human nature. Humans want tribal conflict, and they will get it no matter what.
Okay, your entire brand, Tim, is 100% built on the concept of pushing and increasing, accelerating the culture war and pitting people against each other. Like that's what this is. And it's crazy to me. It's one of the things like when people get mad at me because I make videos about Tim Pool, they're like, "Oh, you're just trying to pick on Tim, blah, 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 blah." I'm like, yeah, I am picking on Tim. Of course I am. I pick on Tim. I pick on Jeremy. I pick on Lauren Chen. I pick on Sargon. These people pick on just average, everyday people, and they like say just this awful garbage about huge swaths of the population. Like they are encouraging division. That's what they do.
Let me show you some stuff on YouTube, and I'll talk about what the YouTube space is and what the culture war is. The first thing I'll say is the New York Times just mentioned they have, 9.6 million paying subscribers, and it's quite incredible. The Washington Post and everything they've done. Do you see what these organizations do? The Washington Post hired Taylor Lorenz because they know the game and they want to play it. I don't want to do that, and I'm not interested in doing it.
Then don't.
I'll hire people that I believe in who are doing things that I think are good, but I'm not interested in pandering to anybody for any reason. And if that...
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. That's why you went from who you were to who you are now. There are plenty of us that remember exactly what you were like before you decided to jump on board with this ship you're currently helping to steer.
That means you will unfollow this channel, you will unsubscribe from my website, then you should have never signed up in the first place. I'm not going to cater to you. I'm not going to pander to you. I'm going to talk about what I think is important.
Up yours, woke moralists.
I'm going to focus on issues that I think are important. And if you don't like it, I'm sorry, this channel's not for you. In the past several years, or I should say in the past year, especially
I encourage everybody to unsubscribe from every channel that Tim Pool has. Yes, I agree with you, Tim, 100%.
with the swattings that we received, I can tell you outright, there is nothing glorious about being perceived as at the top. I certainly can empathize with Joe Rogan because I can only assume what he goes through. But you take a look at what happens when you search for my name on YouTube. For one, obviously, you will get my channels, you'll get the videos I put up, and then you'll start getting weird nonsense things. The Majority Report with Sam Cedar, 6 days ago, a channel that's absolutely obsessed with me. I don't know why.
Because I don't like people correcting my false information that I freely spew on a daily basis. I don't like consequences, Tim Pool. It's so great. It's so great. I love freedom of speech, except I don't like people using their freedom of speech to enact consequences for my lies. Brilliant.
H. John Benjamin explains Tim Pool's Bob's Burgers drama. What? I don't even know what you're talking about. So I think, this is probably in reference to something Sam Cedar told me 10 years ago, that they were reducing his voice acting role on Bob's Burgers because he voiced a character. And I said,
Sam Cedar voiced a character on Bob's Burgers? Really? Wait. Who did he voice? Sam Cedar. Hugo. Oh, shit. Yeah. Hugo. I was wondering why every time, Hugo would be on the show, I'm like, that voice sounds really familiar. I obviously, Hugo looks the exact opposite of Sam Cedar, so that's probably why it totally, the health inspector, the food inspector. That's so funny. Wow.
he explained that he was upset about it. Okay, well, 6 days ago, they do a video about me. It's fine. I mean, I get it. I got millions of subscribers and followers for whatever reason. We have this one. The Young Turks corrects Tim Pool's brain dead and racist take on Tyree Nichols. Racist and brain dead?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's shock content for tribal reasons.
Shock content for tribal reasons. Disney to fire 7,000 employees as woke company goes broke. Woke poison corrupts as market saturates. What the fuck, dude? Come on.
Kasparian and the Young Turks make fake videos about me all the time. Here's another one.
They're real videos.
From Sam Cedar. Tim Pool confused by Crowder's nonstop lies about Daily Wire beef. Well, I can say one thing. At least they made me look thin in this thumbnail. I actually look very thin. But Sam Cedar likes to do something. He likes to use filters over my face to make it look like I'm corpse-like.
Yeah? That's funny. That's pretty funny. So what?
This is exactly what I'm talking about with the issues of AOC. They put sound filters on my song to
Wait, there's no filter on that one. It looks just like you. There's just a picture of you.
make the song sound bad to trick their audience. The Majority Report
Oh, no, his music is actually terrible. It's fucking crap.
is notorious for this. The Young Turks takes quotes from me out of context and lies about what I believe in order to generate traffic. Much like
Wow, that's so funny. That right up there was a suggested Democrats scream no about Even his own channel is telling on him. This is so funny. Oh man.
Jeremy Hambley and Brittany Venti did about, and some other characters, about what I said about the Eliza Blue story, which I'll get into in a moment. Of course, eventually you'll find I have a song out. Look at that, 1.2 million views. Here's someone, actual justice warrior, shout out, apparently defending me, I guess. TYT smears Tim Pool. Here's someone calling me a scumbag.
Yeah, that was Adam from your movie Sucks, and he would know because he and I have both hung out with you in real life.
Fine. Here's someone, Umbrella Guy, claiming Tim Pool defends Eliza Blue. Here's Chrissy Mayer talking about me and whatever. The Umbrella Guy talking about me losing it. Brittany Ventney talking about me. Here's the Quartering saying Tim Pool blasts his viewers on Timcast IRL. The Quartering issues and what is it? Issues and apology and back to Eliza Blue.
Ooh, interesting. So here we go. Get your popcorn ready. Let's see.
Tim Pool versus his fans. So here's what ends up happening.
Oh, that was Drunken Peasants. That was the Drunken Peasants. That's so great. Oh, man. That's great.
Here's what I want to address as it pertains to drama and things
I
like
think he started realizing that he was giving these people like free promotion by doing like, no.
like that. You know, I see these videos all day, every day from the likes of the Young Turks where they just lie about me all the time. And there's they make videos about a bunch of people, don't get me wrong. But let me see if I can scroll back to where they did this one video where they claimed I was hoping to sexually harass women, which is like a ridiculous nonsense lie. It's just not true. It's nothing I've ever said.
Okay.
These drama channels take things out of, okay, here we go. Creepy Tim Pool, I miss being able to sexually harass women at work. Literally never said that. In fact, it was quite the opposite.
I'm going to have to go watch that video. That sounds awesome. Thanks for the recommendation, Tim. This is cool.
Said in my video that that you have to treat men and women differently because they're different. Then, of course, we have everyone's favorite Jeremy Hambley. Jeremy Hambley makes endless videos about me. I get it. They get traffic. You take a look at his Joe Rogan video. Jeremy Hambley makes a video about Joe Rogan, and he gets 115,000 views. He makes a video about Tim Pool, and he gets 232,000.
Yeah.
We scroll down. Here's another video.
How does it feel being a lol cow now, Tim? Providing that sweet, sweet content milk.
He makes about Tim Pool. He gets 243,000 views. He makes a video about Eliza Blue, 61,000. This is what I'm talking about. Tim Pool blocks me, 317,000 views.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm
Do it more, guys. Do it more. Do it more. Do it more. Do it more. More.
I'm talking about this only because I talk about what I care about talking about and what I think is important and what should be talked about.
Oh my God. Dude. Somebody needs to do, like, okay, whoa, okay. Somebody needs to make a Photoshop of Tim Pool's head on Captain Marvel and, like, start spamming Jeremy with it. Like, dude. Yeah.
That is, if there is something that I think is impactful towards this world, I think we'll address it. I think we will. Typically, I don't talk about me because most people who follow me don't know and don't care. But I'll give you an example of what this is.
Yeah, you usually don't talk about you because there's nothing interesting about you. Again, I've met this dude. He is so dull. So dull. Like, there's just nothing there. He has no personality. It's really weird.
Did I attack my own fans? The answer is no, I didn't. Obviously, you're watching this. You're a fan. I never attacked you. Why is Jeremy Hambley lying on his channel?
Technically, you were telling people if they expect something more from you, then they should just basically screw off. So yeah, you kind of did.
Just like the Young Turks, that's what people do. Their goal is just to make money, I guess. Now, of course, they'll accuse me of doing the same thing, but it's weird. I have no problem telling people who are spamming my chat to screw off. I don't care and I don't want your money. And then apparently they cancel their subscriptions, but I'm the person who wants money. I don't. I really don't. So let this be a more personal, let me address my goals and missions and what I think about all of this. I blocked Jeremy Hambley. Why? Because Jeremy Hambley is the rights or the anti-establishment version of the Young Turks. I never attacked my fans. On Timcast IRL in the super chat section, as people were asking me questions about Eliza Blue, I pointed out, I'm not going to disavow someone I don't care about. Someone who'd been on the show 2 times.
Yeah, he's not going to disavow Eliza Blue because he doesn't want to screw up his relationship with Elon. That's what this is about. 100%. Like, this is all because Tim Pool, and I'm saying, like, I can read right through this. This is 100% because Tim Pool has a line to Elon Musk and does not want to screw that up. Whereas Jeremy has never had a line on Elon, no matter how much he tries to get Papa Musk's attention. He never has been able to do so, and so he doesn't really care.
Out of 710 episodes, 2 really don't care about Eliza Blue. We book a lot of people. We booked the Krasensteins. We've booked Matt Binder. We've booked people who are on the left, and I certainly would say are more grifterish than she. But for some reason, these people care all so much about it. Well, it's fake. When Jeremy makes videos about Joe Rogan, he gets less views than he makes videos about me. That's why he does it. Yep. I don't like it. I can't stand it. And you know what? Hopefully, making this video will make these people stop following me. I will make less money, and I will be less relevant to all of these people because I will say it, and I will say it proudly. I never wanted to be famous. I don't care about
Yes, he did.
being famous. I don't care
Yes, you
about
do.
being rich.
Yes,
I
you
don't
do.
want your money.
Yes,
there
you
are
do.
ideas that I care about, and if I care about them enough, I will talk about them.
It's so absolutely, completely backwards. So completely backwards. It's so funny.
So by all means,
The thing is, what's really funny about this, though, Tim Pool should actually know better. He should know better. He's been at this for a while, but this actually bothered him. You can tell that this really, really, really bothers him because he's even engaging in this. Because the smartest thing to do, if this started happening, like say I was in Tim Pool's position, which so glad I'm not. Although I wouldn't mind the money, that'd be great. I would never address it at all. At all. All these people making attack videos on me and whatnot. Nope. I wouldn't say a thing. Not a thing. And I would go on as if nothing is happening. Because it might take like a month, but eventually nobody's going to care anymore. Everybody's just going to like forget about it because things on the internet only last if you provide them content. That's how it works.
keep making up your trash garbage and misrepresenting who I am and what I believe, Jeremy Hambly or the Young Turks. You're all the same as far as I'm concerned. I'll tell you what I said. On my show, I said, I believed Eliza Blue is trying to be famous. And there is a PR firm that we know of that the belief I have, based on what I've seen, is they create about 50 fake accounts. They get about 50 people. They get about 10 people to each make about 5 accounts and run them. It's very, very easy to do. And you can watch videos of this where they have cell phones all over the walls. They then will go onto channels and spam the comments and say, cover this story and talk about this thing.
Oh, so it's not even real. It's all a bunch of bots. It's all a bunch of bots. And so if you, probably the thousands and thousands and thousands of people that are currently mad at Tim Pool right now, if you feel that way, it's because you're being manipulated by 10 people with bots. That's what it... Okay, Tim. Okay.
In an effort to get prominent personalities to talk about it. And it works. Now, not only do you have Jeremy Hambly with 1.47 million followers making up videos where he says Tim Pool blasts his viewers, when I quite literally said, these people are clearly not fans. We've gained members at timcast.com. There's no basis behind this. It's just the same Young Turks garbage. It's the same thing I've been complaining about for months as they make up fake things about me.
This is
it's
amazing.
the same thing I complain about with Sam Cedar, who makes up fake things about me.
This is so great. And like another part of this too, this is so ego-driven because I don't think Tim can even conceive of the concept of people actually hating him for any real valid reason. You know, either he can't or he can, and he's just trying to like maintain some very thin shield of protection versus it. It's fascinating.
It's the same thing I complained about with Hassan Piker, a prominent leftist personality who, even when I defend him, finds reason to criticize my agreements with him, going so far.
Because you're a bad person. People don't like you because you're a bad person, Tim.
As to when I said we shouldn't be spending money on wars overseas, like Ukraine, he then says, he laughs, says I'm wrong, and then says the military-industrial complex is the problem, which is funny because it's like, my guy, we completely agreed. You've not provided a justification for the $100 billion we spent in Ukraine. It's fake. That's all it is. And there are a lot of people who really want that. There's a lot of people who really care about that. Good for you. You're not going to get it from me.
You literally started this video by reporting a lie that is easily fact-checked and that you know is a lie. Like, this is amazing. Like, the very beginning of this video, 20 minutes ago, in this very same video, you actually spouted fake news.
I don't care. I think there's a lot of really messed up things happening in this world. And I'm not convinced that we're headed in a positive direction that's going to be able to solve these things because this is what people really want. 300. What do we have? Here we go. Tim Pool blasted for article. An article I didn't write. Shane Cashman wrote it. He works here.
He's your employee. He's your employee. And everybody, like, from the insider reports of people who used to work for Tim is in control of everything. He micromanages every single aspect of his company. Nothing at Tim's company goes on without his explicit knowledge. Tim is a domineering in that space.
But he puts my name in the video because I guess people are obsessed with me.
You're responsible.
I would love it if people weren't. Tim Pool blocks me, 317,000 views, and they attacked me for doing it. There's literally nothing you can do in this space. Jeremy Hambley, the Young Turks, Sam Cedar, they're not the only ones. The crew, Brittany Venti. I mean, these channels, I don't care for. They don't talk about things that are going to change the way you buy food. They're not going to help you raise your kids. They're not going to solve the problem of crime skyrocketing in your city.
Yeah, neither are yours. Like this overbloated sense of self-importance that Tim is trying to put on here, that like his videos are in some way an objective good, and that they aren't like explicitly trash, low effort trash, regurgitated the same, like, if blank respond blank. Like, I'm sorry, Tim, it's so transparent to anybody who takes even a minute to consider it.
They're not going to help you understand why criminals are being let out of jails. But there's a large portion of the internet that really, really wants this. Absolutely loves it. Don't follow me if that's you. I don't know how to solve this stuff. But I'll tell you some stuff externally outside of all of this as to why I'm done with it. I'm completely done with it.
Are you?
Cancel your subscriptions at timcast.com if this is what you want. I never wanted your money in the first place.
Yes,
I asked for your memberships at timcast.com because we want to open a coffee shop. We want to open a coffee shop. The contractors are there. They're planning it because we want people to be able to come to a place to share ideas, to resist what I view as the corruption of what was once a great country.
I'm fighting the corruption of what was once a great country by making a coffee shop. You got it. Oh man, this is all over already. The point of watching this is largely not even to cover like a breaking drama. It's more to analyze and look into the headspace of Tim, and when Tim can't just simply respond to things in the paint by numbers way that he always does. It really just is to analyze Tim because it's fascinating. It's really, really fascinating.
The degradation, the psychotic woke cult. That's what I want to do.
Psychotic
what I don't
woke
care for
cult.
is
Fascinating.
Grifters. Outright grifters.
That's you.
They'll accuse me of all of that stuff. Fine. That's fine. But I'll tell you this right now. I'd have no problem, as I always say, hopping in my van and going down by the river and just living it and giving everything up.
Good. Go do it. Go do it, Tim. I encourage you. Live your dream.
In fact, it'd probably be a whole lot easier. So I would appreciate it if people who followed Sam Cedar, the Young Turks, Hassan, and the Quartering weren't following my channel.
Okay.
Because I think this is the kind of lowbrow garbage that doesn't actually solve any problems. Tim Pool attacks his fans. Literally didn't do it. It's not relevant. It has nothing to do with anything. Why talk about this stuff? I get it. Some people like it.
Oh, man. Okay. So I don't know where he's going to go with this next. I'm getting a bit burned out about like Tim just saying the same shit over and over again. Then he has to pivot to the left bullying people over the Hogwarts thing. Don't care about that. Don't care about that at all. But I do want to, while we're still recording, I want to go look at the quartering. Let's see.
Can I get a...
All right. He lost actually quite a few subscribers due to this drama. Burying the hatchet. Dear Tim Pool, I am sorry. Tim Pool writer, bless. YouTubers. Does he still have his videos? Yeah, he's still got his videos attacking Tim Pool. Interesting. All right, let's see what the recording has to say about this.
Dang it, Tim. I just released like a banger video going through your writer's piece. And I was all fired up and mean in it. And then I see, flooded comments of people coming in and saying, hey, Tim apologized.
Oh, he did?
And I did watch it. I felt like it was sincere. I feel like
where?
even though I think the veneer of the our viewers thinking we're best friends or we're good buddies is gone. That doesn't mean that we shouldn't still coexist and lock arms and fight against what we believe in. I think our channel.
Where did Tim apologize? That's fascinating. Did he actually apologize? Because, like, the one that we were just watching came out a day ago. That's so fascinating. What the fuck? Because it doesn't look like he paid any attention to it any further, because he's been screwing around with Project Veritas. This is wild. Let's see. Maybe it was a video on Twitter. Let's try this. Let's look on Twitter. Go ahead and talk.
Channels are extremely complimentary. You may have a certain opinion of my content, and that's okay. It doesn't bother me. You're not my target. And, I'm probably not the target for yours. However, we have a huge crossover that, put our fans in the crossfire. And it was never really about us. Of course, everything I said positive about you, I still mean. The empire that you're building, I'm extraordinarily inspired by it.
Gargle, gargle, gargle. Gargling hard on this one. Wow, Jeremy. Some self-respect, please. Let's see. I'm still trying to see if he actually apologized. I'm looking. Let's see. Together again. This week of insanity with Veritas, these Republicans getting shot made me realize we have to stand together. I am sorry too, Jeremy. Let's not let them distract and disrupt us. Where did he actually apologize? This is so interesting. I'm trying to find it because it's not on any of his channels. I think he's being sarcastic here? Really? I don't think so. Oh, I know. No. I know Jeremy is he's been having drunk streams like crazy. Oh no, and then this is just Tim screwing around with Chat GPT. That was really fascinating. While all of this drama was going on, Tim is just like obsessed with messing around with this stupid chat bot. It was weird. Yeah, I don't see it. I don't know where it is. Like, maybe it was just like something he casually said on Timcast IRL or whatever. I don't know. That's so dumb. I'm so sorry, Tim. Please, let's be friends again. Oh, it was in the Veritas vid? So Tim couldn't even make a video specifically trying to, like, smooth things over. He just, like, tosses it in with something else. And then Jeremy gets on his knees. Oh, man. Wow. Dude. The absolute lack of self-respect between both of these people is insane. It is actually insane. I am so beyond amused by this. All right, anyway, this video's gone on long enough. Please forgive me, Tim. Please forgive me. Jeez.